Good afternoon everyone. Good afternoon po sa mga naka-attend at good afternoon po sa mga nandito sa ating webinar, Mastering Numerical Ability for the 2026 New Curriculum Civil Service Exam Review. So this is a walkthrough of the numerical ability section of this reviewer, yung nasa screen. Ito yung 2026 New Curriculum Civil Service Exam Reviewer. If you are here, I think 99% I'm sure na you encountered this and you encountered my invitation dito sa webinar via TikTok. And you have availed this reviewer na nandito sa screen natin. So thank you so much for the support and of course for investing in yourself, investing in your knowledge and refreshing kung ano yung mga possible na lumabas sa exam, sa civil service exam. Okay? Ngayon, itong reviewer po na to, kompleto yung solutions nito no? Sa likod ng, bandang likod ng reviewer at lahat ng subjects po yan, lahat ng questions na nasa reviewer, kompleto yung solutions. Since masyadong madami yung questions, especially sa numerical ability, para matapos naman tayo dito sa webinar natin, ang ginawa ko, namili ako ng up to, ilan bang questions to? 50 questions among dun sa lahat ng questions ng numerical ability. At yun yung i-discuss natin this afternoon. Okay? So, 50 questions to from different categories ng numerical ability. Dadaanan po natin. Okay? So, without further ado, let's start. Okay, first is, this one is addition of integers. We add two negatives, or how do we add two negative integers? So remember the rule natin in operations of integers. In adding integers with the same sign, so you have the same sign here, negative and then negative, we add and then copy the sign. So let's add 2 and 3, we have 5, and then the sign is negative. That's why we have negative 5. Very easy sa atin yan. Let's have the next one. If the temperature is negative 3 degrees Celsius and it increases by 7 degrees, what is the new temperature? Okay, so we have negative 3 degrees Celsius. It increases means we add. Okay, it increases by 7. So we have plus 7. What is the new temperature? Now we are adding different signs here. We're adding negative and then positive. So in adding integers with different signs, we subtract and then we copy the sign of the larger number. So again, we subtract. So we have 3 and 7 here. Subtracting them, we have 7 minus 3 since 7 is larger. So 7 minus 3 is 4. And then we copy the sign of the larger number. So larger one is 7, which is positive. That's why we have positive 4. Okay, let's have the next one. Subtraction of integers. Maria played a game in which she lost 6 points, gained 15 points, and then lost 8 more. How many points does Maria currently have in the game? So remember, take note of the keywords. She lost. Lost 6 points, that's negative. Now gained 15 points, that's positive, or plus 15. And then lost again 8 more, so we have negative 8. Okay? So we just combine them. Since this is just addition and subtraction, we simply start from left to right. So we have negative 6 plus 15. How do we add different sign? We subtract them. So that's 15 minus 6. And then we copy the sign of the larger, which is 15. So positive. That's positive 9. Now we have minus 8. So 9 minus 8, we simply subtract. Or we can also imagine this is addition. So we have 9 plus negative 8. They're just the same, right? So 9 minus 8 is just the same as 9 plus negative 8. Okay, we are combining them. Now, how do we add different signs again? We subtract them. We copy the sign of the larger, which is positive. So positive. So same lang yung answer niya. All right. Let's have the next one. In New York, the temperature was negative 16 degree Fahrenheit in the morning. If the temperature dropped 8 degrees Fahrenheit, what is the new temperature now? Keywords pa rin tayo. So we start with negative 16. The temperature dropped. That's minus 8. Okay? Now, paano pag ganito? We have negative 16 and then negative 8. This is also the same as negative 16 plus negative 8. Right? Parang yung kanina. Right? It's like combining them. Negative 16 and then negative 8. So we combine them, negative 16 plus negative 8, adding the same sign, we add them, and then we copy the sign. So we have negative 24 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's have the next one. The current temperature in Texas is negative 12 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperature in Alaska is currently at 95 degrees Fahrenheit. How many degrees lower was the temperature in Texas? So in this case, we are comparing two temperatures. Okay? Now, the question is how many degrees lower was the temperature in Texas? So we are getting their difference. Okay? Since how many degrees lower yan, isasubtract natin yung lower degree, which is yung Texas, from the higher degree, which is yung Alaska. Okay, so Alaska minus Texas. Again, the question is how many degrees lower, gaano kababa si Texas against kay Alaska? So we get their difference. Okay, Alaska is 95 minus Texas is negative 12. Not just 12, negative 12. Okay, so magkaiba yung 12 degrees Fahrenheit sa negative 12 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, kapag nakakita naman tayo ng ganito, 95 minus negative 12, we can just set that as plus. Okay? 95 minus negative is just the same as 95 plus 12. Okay? So, two negatives becomes positive. Okay, so 95 plus 12, 107 degrees Fahrenheit. Positive since both of them are positive. Okay, let's have the next one. What is the difference if 17 is subtracted from negative 38? So, subtraction tayo, pero remember sa subtraction, order is important. Parang katulad sa kanina, sa Alaska minus Texas. Order is important. It's different from Texas minus Alaska. Okay? So, when it says here, 17 is subtracted from, sino mo una sa kanila? Okay, so sa 17 is subtract kay negative 38, mauuna si negative 38. Ang ibabawas ay si 70. Okay, 17 is subtracted from negative 38. So parang katulad din kanina. This one can be combined them. So this one is the same as negative 38 plus negative 17. Way of subtracting. Minus this number, pwede nating idikit yung negative, okay? That's the shorthand way of solving it. So negative 38 plus negative 17, we have negative 55. Adding the same sign. Letter B. Okay, let's have the next one. When negative 18 is subtracted from negative 25, the difference is, again, is subtracted from. So, si negative 18, ibabawas natin kay negative 25. Sinong mauuna sa kanila? Si negative 25. Minus, now remember, this one is negative. So, that's minus negative 8. Okay, it's different. Ilagay lang natin minus 17. Dito naman, negative 18 is subtracted from, so parang dalawang subtraction sign. Okay? Ano yung may magkatabing minus sign? Gagawin lang natin 75 plus 18. 18 na lang na sila. Now, how do we copy the sign of the larger, which is negative? Ba tayo dyan? Let's have the next one. Much easier than subtraction and addition and division ng integers. Same sign, always positive. Different sign, always negative. Tinitake note natin. Pagdating sa multiplication and division, height of the water in a pool decreases by 5 inches each week due to evaporation. What is the change in the height of the water over 17-week period? Okay. So, pagdating sa mga ganito naman, although easier yung multiplication and division ng integers in terms of the rules, syempre makaka-encounter tayo ng mga word problems like this. So, ito yung isang challenge din, di ba? Paano natin interpret yung word problems? At paano natin madedetermine kung ano yung operation na kailangan. Okay? Sige. Interpret natin tong word problem ito. So, the height of the water decreases by 5. Decreases means meron tayo negative 5 or minus 5, minus 5, minus 5. Each week yan due to evaporation. Nababawasan or decreases. So, minus 5 ng minus 5 ng minus 5 each week. Now, the question is, what is the change in the height of the water over the 7th-week period? So, in 7 weeks, ilan na yung change niya? That's negative 5 times 7 weeks. Okay? So, how do we multiply integers again? We multiply them. If same sign, positive. If different sign, negative. So, this is different sign, negative 35. So, yan yung change ng height ng water over the 7th-week period. Letter B. Okay. Next one. Jason made 10 two-point baskets and 2 3-point baskets in Friday's basketball game. He did not score any other points. How many points did he score? So, combine lang natin lahat ng points niya, no? Ano-ano ba yung mga points niya? Meron tayong tig 2 points, tsaka meron tayong tig 3 points. So, ilan yung 2 points natin? 10 na 2 points. Ilan ang total nun? We have 10 times 2. How about the 3 points? Dalawang 3 points, so that's 2 times 3 points. Okay? So 10 times 2, this is 10 2-point baskets. And we have 2 3-point baskets. Okay? Ang question lang is how many points or yung total score niya. So we just add that. Okay, so we multiply first 10 and 2. We have 20. And then 2 and 3, we have 6. Adding them, we arrive at 26 points yung score. Okay, next one. A basketball team loses 4 points every 5 minutes. Okay? Napipicture na natin yan, no? Parang yung kanina sa height ng pool. They lose or they loses up. They lose 4 points every 5 minutes. Now, how many points did the team lose after 20 minutes? Okay, so anong gagawin natin dyan? Loses 4 points every 5 minutes. So let's say, ito yung total na 20 minutes. No? Illustrate natin. So yung 20 minutes, every 5 minutes doon, naglo-lose sila ng 4 points. Ilang 5 minutes meron doon sa total na 20 points? So operation is 20 divided by 5. Okay? Because titingnan natin ilang 5 minutes meron doon sa total na 20 minutes. And then, so 20 divided by 5, meron tayong 4 na 5 minutes. Okay? 4 na 5 minutes dyan. So 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. That's a total of 20 minutes. Now again, the team loses 4 points every 5 minutes na yan. So negative 4, negative 4, negative 4, and negative 4. Now the question is, how many points did the team lose? Ilan lang yung total points na natalo nila? Okay, so multiply lang natin sa 4 yung negative 4 para malaman natin yung total. Or simply add them. So negative 4 times 4, we have negative 16. So total of negative 16 points yung natalo nila. Okay, next one. Division of integers. As a cold front passed through Temple, the temperature changes steadily over 7 hours. Altogether, it changes negative 21 degrees. What was the change in temperature each hour for 7 hours? Okay, so dito naman baligtad, no? Given yung total or given yung total change ng degrees during those 7 hours in total. So we are looking naman for the change in each hour. Okay? So baligtad naman tayo. So opposite ng multiplication, we have division. So yung total na 7 hours, meron tayong change na negative 21 degrees. So let's say this is the 7 hours. Okay? Meron tayong total dyan na negative 21 degrees. Okay? So how many degrees yung each hour na yan? Each of these, yung each hour. That is negative 21 divided by 7. We have negative 3. So each hour, the temperature changes by negative 3. Okay, next one. Anna divided an integer x by negative 3 and got 10. Then she divided 10 by integer y and got negative 2. Find the quotient of integer x and y. So how do we get the quotient of x and y? First is to figure out the values of x and y. Okay? Let's have this. Anna divided x by negative 3. And the answer is 10. Right? Now, what number when we divide by negative 3, the answer is 10? Okay, mental math. What number when we divide by negative 3? The answer is 10. We have negative 30. Because negative 30 divided by negative 3, 30 divided by 3 is 10. Same sign is positive. Therefore, x is negative 30. Or how do we get x? We simply do the opposite. Since this is division, we multiply negative 3 by 10. Negative 30. So that's x. How about the y? She divided 10 by integer y and got negative 2. So 10 divided by y equals negative 2. Now 10 divided by a number is negative 2. What is that number? We have 10 divided by negative 5 equals negative 2. Because when we divide 10 by 5, that's 2 negative, different signs. So we have negative. Therefore, y is equal to negative 5. Find the quotient, x and y. So that's x divided by y. So x is negative 30, y is negative 5. We divide 30 by 5, that is 6. Negative divided by negative, same sign, that's positive. So positive 6. Okay, let's have the next one. When the product of negative 5 and negative 18 is divided by 3, the quotient is what? Okay. Product of negative 5 and negative 18, when we say product, it's the answer to multiplication. So negative 5 times negative 18. Then we divide by 3. What is the answer? First is to multiply negative 5 by negative 18. Same sign. So that's positive. 5 times 18 is 90. Then divide by 3. We have 30. Alright, let's have the next one. Solve this expression. Okay. Order of operations tayo. Anong unahin natin? So sa PEMDAS, we have parentheses first, and then exponents, and then multiplication or division, whichever comes first, and then addition or subtraction, whichever comes first. So dito, evaluate muna natin yung mga expressions inside the parentheses. So we have 32 divided by 8, that's 4, and then cube, and then we have 4 times 5, 20, divided by 2, that's 10, and then we have squared here, and then divided by 5. So 4 cubed is 4 times 4 times 4, we have 64, 10 squared is 10 times 10, we have 100 divided by 5. Alright. Now dito yung tricky, no? Pagdating sa PEMDAS, kung ano yung mauuna. Addition or multiplication. So remember, we have PEMDAS multiplication muna before addition. So we have 64, malin agad. We have 100 divided by 5 muna. 100 divided by 5 is 20, and then add 64. That's why we have 84. Okay, let's have this one. 275 plus 400 plus 125 times 5, and then divided by 26. PEMDAS ulit tayo. We evaluate those inside the parentheses first. So, meron tayong parentheses, and then meron tayong braces dito. So, we have 275 plus 400, and then 125 times 5. So, meron tayo ditong 675, and then 125 by 5 is 625, and then we divide by 26. Now, since meron tayong braces dito, it's equivalent to parentheses, no? We evaluate first those inside the braces before we divide. So 675 plus 625, we have 1,300. Divide by 26, that is 50. Okay, next one. Let's evaluate this expression. Same thing, we evaluate those inside the parentheses first. So we have 24 plus 10, 10 plus 4. 24 plus 10 is 34, and then divided by 2. 10 plus 4 is 14. We have divided by 7, and then evaluate na natin to. 2 raised to 3 or 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2. So we have 8. Okay, so wala na tayong parentheses dito. Multiplication or division, and then addition or subtraction. So meron tayong division dito. Meron din tayong division dito. So we have 34 divided by 2, and then we have 14 divided by 7. So 34 divided by 2 is 17. 14 divided by 7 is 2. Addition and subtraction. From left to right na tayo. 17 plus 2 is 19. Minus 8, 11. Alright, let's have multiples, factors, and divisibility. Which of the following is a multiple of 7? So when you say multiple of 7, it's a number divisible by 7. So when we divide by 7, there should be no remainder. Okay? So it's the same as the question, which number is divisible by 7? So alin dyan? Try nating divide. You can actually answer it directly, but let's see. But let's just look at the choices. So we have 37 divided by 7, that's 5, pero may remainder na 2. 27 divided by 7 is 3, but may remainder na 6. 59 divided by 7 is 8, and then may remainder na 3, and we have 49 divided by 7 is 7 exact. So we have 49. So ano-ano yung mga multiples ng 7? So we have 7, 14, 21, 28, ano pa, 35, 42, what else? 49, and then 56, and so on. Okay. Next one, how many factors are there in 25? So, list down natin yung mga factors. Ano yung mga factors? Ito yung mga number na when we divide 25 by those numbers ay walang remainder. So, ibig sabihin yung 25 ay multiple ng numbers na to. Okay? So, in 25, meron tayong 5 times 5. So, 5 is a factor. Meron din tayong 25 times 1. Wala na, yun lang. Okay, yun lang pala. So, 1, 5, and 25. Okay. Namali tayo ng check dyan. Dapat nandito tayo sa C. 3. Okay, so 1, 5, and 25, there are 3 factors. Should be C. Next one. Which of the following is a prime number? Okay, when we say prime number naman, wala na siyang ibang factors or wala na siyang factors other than 1 in itself. Okay? So, example kanina, si 25. Meron siyang factor na 5. It means 25 is not a prime number. Okay? So, alin dito yung may factors na 1 in itself lang? 41 is 41 times 1. 48 is 48 times 1. Pero meron din yung 24 times 2, 16 times 3, 12 times 4, 8 times 6. Si 36 naman, merong 36 times 1, 18 times 2, 12 times 3, 9 times 4, 6 times 6. Si 42 naman, 42 times 1, 21 times 2, 14 times 3, 17 times 6. Okay, mali na naman yung check natin. So, dito dapat yan sa A. Okay, prime number C41. Lagi naiiwan sa D yung check. What is the greatest common factor of 20 and 25? Greatest common factor, we find their factors and then we determine the greatest one. So, 20 and 75. Ano ba yung factors ni 20? Meron tayong 20 times 1, 10 times 2, 5 times 4. So, 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. Sa 75 naman, merong 75 times 1, 25 times 3, 15 times 5. So, 1, 3, 5, 15, 25, and 75. So, ano yung greatest natin dyan? si 5. Find the least common multiple of 9 and 6. So find their multiples, or we can list their multiples, and then which is the smallest one, the least one. Okay, so for 9, we have 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, and so on. Si 6 naman, we have 12, 18, 24, and 36. So makikita natin, meron na tayong naging common. So hanggat wala pa, pwede nating i-list yung multiples nila. But remember, pag masyado nang malayo yan, pwede kasing yung product nila, yun na yung common multiple nila. Okay, so pag nakarating na kayo dun sa product nila, which is 54, tapos yun lang yung same na multiple, yun na yung answer. Pero kung dito pa lang meron na silang common, hindi pala 36 yung common, meron tayong 18 dito na least common multiple. So instead of 36, meron na tayong 18 dito na common multiple nila. Okay? Next one. Which of the following is a proper fraction? When we say proper fraction, it's a fraction where the numerator is less than the denominator. That means the value is less than 1. So, smaller si numerator than the denominator. Ano yung numerator? Yung number sa taas. Denominator, yung number sa bottom part. Okay, so alin dyan si proper fraction? We have 9 over 24. Next one, all of the following is an example of improper fraction except, okay, so be careful with this type of question. We're not looking for the improper fraction. These are all improper except which one? It means we are looking for the fraction that is not improper. So, opposite ng improper, dalawa lang naman yan. Proper or mixed. Okay? So, A is improper because mas malaki si numerator. B is a whole number which is also considered improper fraction. Si C naman, mas malaki din sa numerator, so improper pa din. And then D is lesser si numerator, so this is a proper fraction. So an improper fraction is a fraction where the numerator is greater than or equal to the denominator. This means the value of fraction is 1 or more. So again, a whole number or equal yung numerator and denominator is also considered improper fraction. So the answer here is D. D is not an improper fraction. Next one. Okay. 12 and 17 over 20 is an example of, as you can see, meron tayong whole number, meron din tayong fraction. So that is a mixed number or a mixed fraction. Next one, the given fractions 5 over 8 and x over 24 are equivalent fractions. Find the value of x. So when we say equivalent fractions, what do? We can cross multiply them. So 5 over 8 and then x over 24, dapat equal yung product nila when we cross multiply. So 24 times 5 is 120. So dapat si 8 times x, 120 din. Now what do we multiply by 8 to get 120? We divide 120 by 8, which is 15. That is the value of x. Again, for equivalent fractions, when we cross multiply, dapat equal sila. That's why when we have 8 times x here, the product should be 120. So what do we multiply by 8 to get 120? We have 15. Next one. There are 420 pupils in a school. The ratio of boys to girls in this school is 3:4. How many girls and how many boys are in this school? Remember, for ratio and proportion, order is important. So when we say ratio of boys to girls yung 3 is to 4. That's different from girls to boys. So 3 parts si boys, 4 parts si girls. Okay, so let's say 3 parts yan si boys. Illustrate muna natin, no? Para ma-visualize natin. And then si girls naman ay 4 parts. Okay? Ilan ang total? 420 pupils. So sa ilang parts natin i-divide si 420? So merong 3 parts kay boys, merong 4 parts kay girls. There are a total of 7 parts. So si 420, divide natin sa 7 to get yung number of students for each part. Okay? So 420 divided by 7 is 60. Therefore, there are 60 students for each part here para mag-total sila ng 420. Alright. Now, let's go back to the question. How many girls and how many boys? So, sa question naman, nauuna si girls. Okay? Pwede kasing dito parang hindi naman nagbali-baligtad yung mga numbers, no? Pero pwede kasing maging tricky yan kapag binalibaligtad nila yung mga numbers dyan, tapos merong magsiswitch na, for example, merong choice dito na 180 and then 220, pinag-swap nila, magkaibang answer siya. Okay? So, order is important. How many girls? Ilang girls tayo? 60 times 4. Si boys naman, 60 times 3. So, boys is 60 times 3, girls is 60 times 4. 240 and then 180. And that's different kapag may answer dito na 180 and 240. Again, naunang itanong si girls, so mauuna siya sa list. Now, paano ba yung shorthand way kapag mga ganitong word problems, mga ratio and proportion? So, remember, kapag ratio and proportion, tapos given yung total, a-add lang natin yung parts nila. Kasi yun yung total number of parts, no? So, 3 plus 4, it means 7 total parts yan. Ito siya, yung in-illustrate natin. Okay? So, add natin yan. Meron tayong 7 total parts. So, yung total na 420, divide natin sa 7 total parts. Ayan, ito siya. So, same thing. So, itong illustration, equivalent lang siya nitong 3 plus 4 na yan. In-illustrate lang natin para ma-visualize natin yung scenario, no? Pero sa exam, kapag nakita kayo ng ganitong word problems, may ratio, tapos may total, and then alamin natin kung ilan sila, yun, add nyo lang yung number of parts, tapos doon nyo i-divide yung total. Okay? Next one. If the ratio of chocolates to ice cream cones in a box is 10 is to 16 and the number of chocolates is 60, find the number of ice cream cones. So dito naman, hindi given yung total ng lahat. Diba? Ang given yung total ng isang part or ng isang item, yung number of chocolates. So ano yung ratio natin? Chocolates is to ice cream cones, which is 10 is to 16. So si chocolates, equivalent siya sa 60. It means yung 10 parts ni chocolate, total yun ay 60. Okay? Now, kung 16 yung parts ni ice cream cones, ilan yung total niya? Okay? So parang fraction to kanina, di ba? Dapat equivalent sila. So from 10, how do we get 60? We multiply 6 to get 60. Right? So dapat, ganun din sa 16. No? So 60 divided by 10. So ito yung parang number of chocolates for each part. Parang ganon. Ngayon, ganun din yung i-multiply natin sa parts ni ice cream cones. Times 6. Because each part is 6. So 16 times 6, we have 96. So, sa ice cream cones ay 96. So, before we continue, no, short break lang tayo, like 5 minutes, water break or bathroom break. It's up to you, or gusto nyong mag-stretching muna before tayo mag-continue dito sa second half ng ating review. Okay. So, see you in 5 minutes. Nakapag-stretching na po ba tayo? Nakainom na tayo ng tubig? Any snacks? Sabagay, pwede naman kayong uminom ng tubig anytime. Ako pala yung nauuhaw kanina. Okay. Let us continue. Statistics naman tayo, no? The heights of the 5 athletes are 155, 130, 146, 150, and 162 centimeters respectively. Find the mean height per athlete. When we say mean, that is the average. So how do we get average? We add all of them and then we divide by, ilan ba sila? 5. 5 numbers. So adding all of them, the sum is 740. And then ilan yan sila? 5. That's 740 divided by 5. So the mean height is 148. Okay, next one. There are 9 boxes of orange juice which are priced as below. Find the median. When we say naman median, a-arrange natin sila from least to greatest or greatest to least, doesn't matter kasi kukunin naman natin yung center na value. Okay, so arrange natin yan. We have 45 and then 50 and then 55, 65, 68, 70, 80, 85, and then 95. So ang nasa gitna, we have 68. That is the median. Okay, next one. Which of the following is not a measure of central tendency? So, isa-isahin muna natin sila. Si range, siya si difference between the largest value and the smallest value. Okay? That's the range. Si mean naman, that's the average of a set of numbers. Yung katulad kanina, we add all of them and then we divide kung ilan yung numbers. For the median naman, ito yung sa kaninang previous item. It's the middle value in a set of numbers when arranged, either from smallest to largest or largest to smallest. And then the mode is the most frequent number in a set of data. Yung pinaka marami na value dun sa set of data. Okay? Now, yung measure of central tendency, those are the mean, median, mode. So, ang hindi lang dito measure ng central tendency, si range. Kasi si range is just the difference nung largest and the smallest. So, when we say central tendency, parang kinukuha natin yung gitna nila. Okay? Either the average or yung median when we arrange them or yung pinakamadami sa kanila. So, that's central tendency. Okay, so the answer is range. Next one, Albert wants to tile their kitchen floor, which is 10 feet by 12 feet. How many 6-inch tile are needed to tile the floor? Now, be careful with these types of problems or of word problems. Kasi, kapag measurement, always take note yung unit of measure na ginamit. So, dito, we have feet. Dito naman, inches. So, usually, ang ginagawa natin ay we convert from yung larger unit of measure to smaller para hindi tayo magka-come up sa decimal or sa fraction. Okay? So, yung 10 by 12 feet ay ko-convert natin from feet to inches. So, ilang inches ba meron sa feet? There are 12 inches. Yun yung 1 foot. Okay? That's why we have 10 times 12 inches. Kasi yung 12 inches, it's equivalent to 1 foot. So 10 times 12 inches, we have 120 inches, ang equivalent ng 10 feet. Si 12 feet naman, times 12 inches din, 144 inches. Ibig sabihin, si kitchen floor, ang dimension niya in inches ay 120 by 144. So 120 by 144, the kitchen floor has an area of 17,280 square inches. Si tiles naman, ilan ang area niya? 6 by 6. So tile area is 6 by 6 or 36 square inches. Now the question is, how many tiles are needed to cover yung floor? So divide lang natin sila. 17 to 80 divided by 36. So na-divide natin sila directly because they have the same unit of measurement. So 17 to 80 divided by 36, 480 tiles. Next one. Remember po, no, after ng webinar na to, you can watch again later ng replay, then pwede nyong i-pause, kaya tuloy-tuloy po tayo ngayon para hindi sayang ang oras ninyo din. Okay, let's have the next one. Neri is painting a room with 4 walls, each measuring 9 feet by 5 feet. What is the area to be painted ignoring the doors and windows? So, in a perfect world, dito sa word problem na to, wala daw doors and windows dun sa room. So, bagay, meron namang talagang mga rooms na syempre may door, pero walang window. But, in any case, dito sa 4 walls na to, walang doors, walang windows. Okay? Pure walling sila. So, meron tayong 4 walls, and then ang dimensions natin ay 9 by 5. Okay? Feet lang naman yung unit of measure, so wala tayong kailangang i-convert. So, let's find the area to be painted. So, lahat ng area na yan. Meron tayong 9 by 5 and then times 4 walls. So, yung dimension ng isang wall and then meron tayong 4 walls. 9 by 5 is 45 times 4 is 180. That's the area of the 4 walls. Alright, next one. Find the volume of a box that is 40 centimeter wide, 30 centimeter deep, and 22 centimeter tall. Volume of a rectangular prism, or definitely it's not a cube. So any volume ng rectangular prism, we have length times width times height. Multiply lang natin sila. 40 by 30 by 22. It doesn't matter yung order because all of them naman we multiply. So 40 times 30 is 1,200 times 22. 26,400 cubic centimeter. So minsan we take note din nung unit of measurement. Kasi pwedeng yun ang tricky sa choices, di ba? May magkaparehong number, tas magkaiba yung unit of measurement. Or kaya meron dito mga square centimeter, ganyan. So, pag sinabi nating volume, cubic ang ating unit of measurement. So, be careful with selecting your choices. Kasi sayang din, nakuha nyo nga yung correct answer, correct number, tapos na mali pala sa unit of measure. Diba? Sayang ang points. Next up, what is the circumference of a circle with radius of 8 cm? Circumference of a circle is 2 pi r, or pi times diameter. Now, since the given is radius, we have 2 pi r. Pi is 3.14, radius is 8. So 2 times 3.14 times 8, or 50.24. How about the value of negative 5 raised to negative 3? So when we have negative exponent here, equivalent siya sa fraction. So itong numerator na negative 5, mapupunta siya sa denominator para maging positive ang kanyang exponent. That's one law of exponent. So si negative 5 raised to negative 3, dadali natin sa denominator si negative 5, magiging positive 3 na ang kanyang exponent. And then let's evaluate 1 over Negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5. Negative 125. Tama? So that's negative 1. It's also equivalent to negative 1 over 125. Same lang sila. Usually naman sa fraction, nasa line yung negative. Okay, so dito sa reviewer natin, dalawa yung correct answer eh. So, negative 125. Negative 1 over 125. Okay, so remember, negative exponent, kung nasa numerator yan, mapupunta siya sa denominator. Since whole number naman ito, over 1 yung kanyang denominator. Kaya 1 yung naging numerator. But if merong denominator to, yun yung magiging numerator. No, actually. 1 pa rin siya. Lilipat lang sa denominator si negative 5. Next one. What is the value of 25 raised to 1/2? Kapag naman fraction ang exponent, that's equivalent to root. So kapag 1/2, that is square root. Kapag 1/3, that is cube root. So we have 25 raised to 1/2 is equivalent to square root of 25 or 5. Next up, number series. Okay, what number should come next dito sa series na to? We have 5, 10, 18, 16, and 14. So tingnan natin yung pattern, no? So from 5 to 10, ano yan? Either plus 5 or times 2. Let's say times 2, no? Trial tayo dito pagdating sa number series kasi titingnan natin yung pattern. How about from 10 to 8? 10 to 8 is minus 2. Eh si 8 to 16. 8 to 16 times 2. So same siya dito. How about the next one? 16 to 14 minus 2. So nakita na natin yung pattern, no? Times 2 and then minus 2. Alternate. So anong next natin? Next is times 2 or 28. Okay, so pwedeng sa first trial, hindi ganito tayo mag-come up. Try ulit natin yung ibang pattern. Next one. What number should come next? 19, 23, 29, 31, and 37. So tingnan natin yung mga pattern. From 19 to 23. Ano yan? Plus 4. Next one, 23 to 29. Plus 6. Si 29 to 31 plus 2. So medyo tumatalon-talon yung ina-add natin, no? Ito naman, plus 6 ulit. So pwedeng yung taas ay puro plus 6 or parang alternate na plus 6. Pero ito naman, plus 4 plus 2. So pwedeng plus 0 na to. Pero wala naman yun sa choices, di ba? So, plus 4, plus 2, plus 0. Pwedeng ganon. Pero wala naman sa choices si 37. Now, what do you notice dito sa numbers na to? Isip pa tayo ng iba pang pattern. What do we notice? Ano kayang similar sa kanila? Notice na itong mga numbers na to ay consecutive na prime number. Remember yung prime number kanina? When we say prime number, wala na silang factor other than 1 and themselves. So 19 is a prime number, kasunod niya si 23. Kasi ano ba yung mga pagitan nila? 19, 20, 21, 22. Lahat yun hindi prime number. Prime number si 23. Yung next naman, 23 and 29. Ano ba yung pagitan nila? 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Mga hindi prime number. So next prime number is 29. Next prime number naman is 31 then. Next prime number is 37. Okay, so ano yung next prime number? Anong kasunod ni 37? 38. Not a prime number. 39. which is a prime number. Okay, so yan ay consecutive prime numbers. The next one is 39. And the next one is 41. And the next one is 43. And the next one is 47. So mga prime numbers to mga to. Pero syempre, ang hinahanap natin, yung next dito sa series na to, which is 39. Okay, so pwedeng walang operation sa fraction, no? Kung ano yung pwedeng similarities nila. Pwedeng ang lumabas mga consecutive na composite numbers naman. Okay? Next. Alright. A box of turmeric is on sale for 200. The percentage discount was 20%. What was the original price? So we are looking for the original price or the base price. So base is percentage divided by the rate. So yung percentage natin, yun yung discounted price or yung actually not the discounted price but the discount. Well, actually, dahil nga hindi naman given yung original price, hindi natin malalaman kung how much yung discount. Kasi ang mayroon lang tayo yung discounted price. So let's say that's the percentage. Okay? Now, ang babaguhin natin yung rate. Kasi yung discount is 20%. That is, yung percentage or yung discounted price is not the 20% but the 80%. Okay? Again, kapag meron tayong sale price, that's not the discount or the 20% discount. It should be the remaining 80%. Kasi na-discount nga ng 20% eh. So yung 200 na sale price, yan yung 80% ng original price. Okay, so that's the reality of it. So kung ang percentage natin ay 200, ang rate dyan ay 80%, not the 20%. Okay? So 200 divided by 80%, that's 200 divided by 0.8. Okay? So 200 divided by 0.8, yan ay 250. So practice natin yung mga manual na dividing kasi walang calculator sa civil service, no? Okay. Pwede nyo rin namang itry gamitan yung mga choices natin. Definitely, 200 is not the answer because sale price na nga yung 200. Diba? So, either lang yan dito. Pwedeng si 220, si 250, or wala dyan. Sa dalawang yan. Okay? O, pwede natin kunin si 20% ni 220. Tapos, ibawas natin sa 220. 200 ba yung answer? Si 250, kunin natin yung 20% niya. Ilan ang matitira? 200 ba? So, kung ano yung magsasatisfy. Okay? Pwedeng ganun. Next one. One number exceeds another number by 10. If the sum of the two numbers is 78, find the smallest number. So, meron tayong ilang numbers dyan? Two numbers. And we're looking for the smaller number. Okay? So, one number exceeds another number by 10. Let's have the first number, which is x. Okay? Let's represent by a variable, x. Now, it says here that one of the numbers exceeds the other one by 10. So, let's say yung isang number mas malaki ng 10 dun sa isang number, no? So, that's x plus 10. Okay? Now, it says also here, the sum of the two numbers is 78. So, add natin sila para meron tayong equation. So, x plus 10, the sum is 78. This is the first number. This is the second number. Okay, so meron na tayong working equation. Let us solve for x. So, let's solve for x first. So, x plus x, we have 2x plus 10 equals 78. Transpose natin si 10 sa kabila. From positive, it becomes negative. So 78 minus 10, 2x equals 68. And then how do we eliminate 2? We divide by 2. So x divided by 2 or 68 divided by 2, x is 34. We're not yet done. Let's go back to the question. Okay? Always go back to the question. Kasi pwede namang hindi yung first number yung hinahanap, di ba? Find the smallest number. So, alin ba yung smaller sa kanila? Si x o si x plus 10? Okay, obviously, it's the x, di ba? So, x is 34 and x plus 10 is 34 plus 4, 44. So, the smaller one is 34. Okay? But, always go back to the question. It's not always na kung ano yung variable, yun na lagi yung answer. Okay? We should always check what is asked in the problem. Let's have the next one. The sum of two consecutive even numbers are 10. What is the smaller number? Okay. Consecutive even numbers. Magkakasunod na even. So if we have 2, the next even number is 4. The next even number is 6. The next even number is 8. So anong pattern natin doon? We always add 2. Kapag naman consecutive numbers lang, we add 1. How about kapag odd numbers? Consecutive odd. So if we have 3, the next odd number is 5, the next odd number is 7, the next odd number is 9, what do we add? We still add 2. So kapag consecutive even, consecutive odd, pareho lang sila ng representation. We always add 2 to get the next number. Okay? So, 2 consecutive even. Anong representation natin dyan? First even number, let's say that's x. Second even number, x plus 2. Okay? Again, even if it's odd number, x and x plus 2 pa din yan. Now, their sum is 10. So, add natin sila. X plus 2 equals 10. So, we solve for x. X plus x is 2x. And then plus 2 equals 10. Transpose 2 to the other side. We have minus 2. And then 10 minus 2 is 8. So, we have 2x equals 8. Eliminate 2. So, we divide by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So, x is 4. The question is, what is the smaller number? So, if x is 4, the first even number is 4. The second even number is 6. But we are looking for the smaller number. So, the answer is 4. Okay, next one. Ayesha runs for 0.5 hours at a speed of 11 km per hour. How far does she run? We are looking for the distance, which is equal to rate times time. So rate is, it's given, the speed, 11 km per hour. Now take note, always take note of the unit. This is hours, kilometer per hour, and this is hours. So, wala tayong kailangang i-convert dyan. But let's say this is 30 minutes. So, given si minutes, kailangan natin i-convert to hours since ang speed ay per hour. Okay, so since hours naman yan, gamitin natin si 0.5. 11 times 0.5 is 5.5 kilometers. That's the distance after 0.5 hours. Next one. A train travels at a speed of 30 miles per hour and travels at a distance of 240 miles. How long did it take the train to complete its journey? How long? That's time equals distance divided by rate. So distance is 240 miles divided by the speed or the rate 30 miles per hour. So 240 divided by 30 is 8 hours. Okay, next one, simplify the algebraic expression. So in simplifying, we combine similar terms. When we say similar terms, same yung variable, same yung exponent. Okay? So dito sa expression na to, we have similar terms 12x squared and minus 4x squared. And then similar terms then si minus 9x plus 5x minus 7x. And then walang kapareho si constant na 10. So we combine similar terms, 12x squared minus 4x squared. 12 minus 4 is 8. And then copy the variable and exponent, x squared. Same goes with the x. Minus 9x plus 5x minus 7x. So minus 9 or negative 9 plus 5, adding integers with different sign, we subtract and then copy the sign of the larger. That's negative 4. Plus negative 7. So negative 4 plus negative 7, we add the same sign and then copy the sign. Negative 11x. And then plus 10. So we have 8x squared minus 11x plus 10. Next one, what is the value of x in the equation? 12x minus 5x minus 40 equals 100. So parang simplifying algebraic expression, then we combine similar terms. That's 12x minus 5x. 12 minus 5 is 7x, and then minus 40 equals 100. Transpose negative 40 to the other side, 100 plus 40. So that's 7x equals 100 plus 40 or 140. Eliminate 7, we divide by 7. That's 140 divided by 7 is 20. X equals 20. Okay, next one. Isa is 18 years younger than Algie. If the sum of their age is 40, how old is Isa? So parang number problem lang kanina, di ba? Dinala lang natin sa age. Okay? So, represent natin yung ages nila. Isa is 18 years younger than Algie. So, since si Isa, kino-compare natin kay Algie, let's say Algie's age is X. So, ano yung age ni Isa comparing to Algie? 18 years younger, so Isa is X minus 18. The age of Algie, we subtract 18 to get the age of Isa. Okay. Now their sum is 40. The sum of their ages is 40. Let's add. X plus X minus 18 equals 40. This is our working equation. So let's combine X and X. That's 2X. We have minus 18 equals 40. Transpose minus 18. That becomes plus 18. 40 plus 18 is 58. Eliminate 2. So we divide by 2. 58 divided by 2 is 29. So ano yung age nila? Algie is 29. But we are looking for Isa. Isa's age. So Isa is X minus 18. That's 29 minus 18. 11. Okay. Again, always go back to what is asked. We are looking for Isa's age. So X minus 18. Alright, next one. Anna is twice as old as her friend Carla. Carla is 4 years older than Carol. Okay, dami ng characters. In 4 years, Anna will be 4 times as old as Carol. How old is Carla now? So, meron tayong ilang characters dito? 3? Anna, Carla, and Carol. And then, meron tayong dalawang timelines. Meron tayong present at meron tayong future in 4 years. No? So, let's represent their ages at present and in 4 years. Okay? So, sino muna ang bibigyan natin ng variable dyan? Sino ba yung last na kinompare? So, usually ito yung strategy ko eh. Kung sino yung last na binanggit, siya yung bibigyan ko ng variable, yung base variable na x. Kasi sa kanya kino-compare yung ibang characters. No? Ito yung aking strategy. Pero syempre, there are other ways on how to solve this. But this is how I do it. Okay? So let's say Carol is x years old at present. In 4 years, x plus 4 na siya. Mag-add tayo ng 4 years. Diba? So represent muna natin yung present tsaka in 4 years. Sino yung next na kinompare sa kanya? Si Carla. So Carla is 4 years older than Carol. That's x plus 4. Okay? Now si Carla, in 4 years, x plus 8 na siya. Nag-add lang tayo ng 4 dito. Okay, last character. Kung sino yung pinakaunang binanggit sa kanila. Yun yung nasa huli na list ko dito. Okay? Now, Anna is thrice as old as Carla. So, ito si Carla, thrice si Anna. That's 3 times x plus 4. Okay, this is the age of Carla times 3. That will be the age of Anna. In 4 years, add din tayo ng 4. Okay? So, these are their present ages. These are their ages in 4 years. Nag-add lang tayo ng 4 sa each expression. Oh, ano na gagawin natin? Tingnan natin dito sa next. In 4 years. Okay, ito yung reference natin. In 4 years, Anna will be 4 times Carol. Okay? Anna will be 4 times Carol. So, asan ang age ni Anna? Anna is equal to 4 times Carol. Ito yung working equation natin. This is Anna. This is the age of Anna in 4 years. And this will be equal to 4 times the age of Carol. Okay, nasa 4 years tayo Nasa 4 years time. Again, this is the age of Anna in 4 years and this will be equal to 4 times the age of Carol. And this is our working equation. Let us solve for x first. Okay, let's solve for x first. Yun muna. Ayan, simplify. X plus 4, that's times 3. So that's 3 times x, 3x. 3 times 4 is 12. And we have plus here. Plus 4 equals, same goes here, 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 4 is 16. Okay? And then we combine yung variable, yung terms with variables x. Dali natin dito sa kabila. Yung mga constants, dali natin sa kabila. Okay? So, si 4x pupunta sa kabila, magiging minus 4x. Retain si 3x. Ngayon, retain si 16 dito. Si positive 12 at saka si positive 4, tapon natin sa kabila. So, minus 12, minus 4. Okay? Magkasama na yung dalawang mag-x dito. So, 3 minus 4 is negative 1x or negative x. And then 16 minus 12 is 4, minus 4 is 0. So negative x equals 0 or it's the same as x equals 0. Ano ibig sabihin yan? Si x dyan ay si Carol, which is 0. It means, newborn pa lang yan si Carol. Newborn pa lang siya at present. But, what is the question? Saan na tayo? How old is Carla now? Asan si Carla? Now is, nandito tayo sa present. And Carla is x plus 4. So, if we have x equals 0, that's 0 plus 4, Carla is 4 years old. Hindi na natin kailangan hanapin lahat ng ages na yan. Ang kailangan lang natin kung ano yung nasa question. Si Carla at present. So, B, Carla is 4 years old at present. Okay. Next one. The ratio of the present ages of Alicia and her eldest sister is 3:6. Again, for the ratio, order is important. Si 3 parts dito si Alicia, yung sister is the 6 parts. Now, the sister's age at the time of Alicia's birth was 15 years. Okay, Alicia's birth means Alicia was 0-year-old at that time. Find their present ages. So, Alicia is the sister, 3:6. Okay? So, 3 parts is to 6 parts yan. Ngayon, at the time of Alicia's birth, nung 0-year-old pa lang siya, so tanggalin natin yung age niya. Ganun din yung i-remove natin kay sister, no? Para equivalent. Ngayon, si sister, 15 years old na. So, itong remaining na to, that's a total of 15 years. Diba? That's the difference of their age. So, ilang parts yan? 3. It means, may 5 yan kada parts. Kasi 15 ang total. So, ibig sabihin, lahat yan, 5 din. Kasi equal parts lahat yan. Okay, anong question? Find their present ages. So, si Alicia, 15 years old. Si sister, 30 years old. Okay? 15 and 30. Now, meron tayong, sabi na nating shorthand way on how to solve this. As we note, during Alicia's birth, 15 years old na yung sister niya. So, it means, it's always na 15 years ang gap nila. Now, among the choices, adin lang yung may 15-year age gap. So, letter A, syempre. So, the sister is always 15 years older. So, si letter A lang yon. Kung meron mang ibang choices na may 15-year age gap, yun yung isang itetest din natin. Kung magsasatisfy siya sa ratio. Okay? But at this time, only letter A satisfies the 15-year gap ng mag-sisters. Okay. I think this is the last question that we have for this one. Romeo is Romel's father. Wait, nalito ako sa name nila. Okay, si father si Romeo. Si Romel, si son. Romeo is 40 years old. 4 years ago, Romeo was 3 times as old as his son was then. How old is Romel? Okay, so dalawang characters, dalawang timeline. Right? Meron tayong present age and then meron din tayong age 4 years ago naman. So kung kanina meron tayong future na in 4 years, dito naman meron tayong past na 4 years ago. Okay, represent muna natin ang kanilang present age at 4 years, past age, 4 years ago. Okay, so unahin natin si Romel. Romel, let's say he is X years old at the moment or at present. 4 years ago, how do we represent the age? X minus 4. Sino naman? Si Romeo naman, yung father, ano naman ang age niya at present? That's actually given. Romeo is 40 years old. So 40 siya at present. And obviously, 4 years ago, he was 36. Okay? So given yung age niya. Now, ito yung dito tayo magbe-base ng working equation natin. Romeo was 3 times as old. This is 4 years ago pala, no? So, dito tayo magbe-base. 4 years ago. Romeo was 3 times the age of the sun. So, si Romeo, which is 36 years old, which was 36 years old, is 3 times ng age ni Romel, ng son niya. Okay? So, this is our working equation. Let's solve for x. Same thing kanina, 3 times x. Actually, baligtarin natin sila, no? Sinwitch ko sila para hindi tayo mahirapan na nandito. Pwedeng ganon. Switch lang natin sila para nandito na yung variable x. Okay? So, 3 times x and then 3 times negative 4, that's negative 12 equals 36. Transpose negative 12, it becomes plus 12. So, 3x equals 36 plus 12 is 48. We eliminate 3. Divide by 3. So, 48 divided by 3 is 16. So, x equals 16. Let's go back to the question. How old is Romel now? Romel now is x years old, which is 16. Okay, I think this is the last one that we have. Thank you so much for joining. Feel free to watch again and replay this webinar. Kung gusto nyo mag-review, you can always pause para sagutan muna. And then good luck sa darating na exam niyo. And in advance, congratulations. Thank you so much.